Good morning to all. I am really privileged to have the pleasant task of welcoming the distinguished gathering for the webinar on WSN and IoT approaches for real-time system design. On behalf of Dr. Ambedkar Government Arts College, I warmly and respectfully welcome the resource person, Professor Dr. R. Alageshwaran sir. Let me extend my thanks to our principal, Dr. R. Sumati madam, for her keen support in conducting the webinar. Now I pleased to invite all the heads of the department, teaching and non-teaching staff of our college. My word of welcome goes next to all the participants from various institutions. I thank you all for attending this webinar. Thank you. Now I request our MSc student Rekha to introduce our resource person.
A very good morning to all. I am happy to give an introduction about our chief guest to our esteemed audience. Dr. R. Alageshwaran received BE CS from MK University and MECS from Bharatidasan University in 1993 and 2003 respectively, and has received his MBAs from MK University. He received his doctoral degree in the field of wireless sensor networks from the School of Computing, Sastra University, Tanjavur in 2013. Since 1994, he is in teaching profession and his main research interest is in wireless sensor, network and IoT. His other research interests include embedded system design, real-time operating systems, embedded networking and RFID based real-time system design. He is working as a professor and head in the Department of Information Technology, KLN College of Engineering, Madurai. He is a coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell in KLNCE. He has published 11 research papers in international journal, 12 research papers in international and national conferences. Recently, he has authored a book titled Databases Management System. He also published online chapter on evaluation of fog computing and its role in IoT application in IGI Global. He has delivered many invited talks in various workshops and FDPs in the field of WSN and IoT. Currently, he is guiding 7 research scholars in the field of WSN and Internet of Things. He is the reviewer of the following journals: International Journal of Advanced Intelligent Paradigms, IEEE Journal on Sensor Network, International Journal of Biomedical Research Special Issue, Computational Life Sciences and Smarter Technological Advancement. Also, he has completed one consultancy project successfully and he is the project coordinator of for an US based consultancy project titled RFID based product tracking. Currently, he is engaging in the Quality Circle Advanced Research and Development project titled Indoor Map Generation and Smart Security. He has filed a patent on RFID based indoor map generation. He is one of the proficiency committee member of KLN College Engineering and his responsibility is to improve the teaching learning process. He is a fellow member in IE and member ISTE and CSI. The following are the awards won by Dr. R. Alageshwaran. Best Club Secretary Award from Lion District 324B3, Teaching Excellence Award from Lion District 324B3, Distinguished Facilitator Award from Infosys for the last 2 years, 2016 and 2017, Best Coordinator Award from ICT ACT, Benevolent Leadership to Student Community from SCIS, SMU University, Singapore. Thank you. Now, with further ado, we will turn the time over to our chief guest, Dr. R. Alageshwaran. Over to you, sir.
சாருக்கு நெட்வொர்க்கு டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கோம் சார். ஷேர்
ஆமா
சார்.
சார். சார் நெட்வொர்க் டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு. நான் கால் பண்றேன்.
ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
ஓ
All right, Shagar, some issue with my laptop. I am restarting. Anyway,
No problem, no problem.
I'm joining through my mobile phone now,
Oh,
so I can start my talk. So, most respected principal, Dr. Sumati, respected head of the department, Dr. Murugan, and my good friend, Dr. Shekhar, faculty members, heads of various departments of Dr. Ambedkar Government Arts College, participants from various institutions, and my dear students. Very good morning to one and all present online today for this webinar on wireless sensor networks and IoT approaches for the real-time system design. So here, if you see the title, wireless sensor networks and IoT, two different areas I'm combining. The reason is that when I was talking to Dr. Shekhar, he told that, both students and staff will attend this program. So I thought of covering both categories. So because mostly students will concentrate more on application side, and the faculty members will focus more towards research. But if you take IoT, as you all know, it's the Internet of Things. So we are having plenty of applications emerging in this area in IoT, because Government of India and Government of Tamil Nadu are talking about smart city, and they are spending more money towards developing the cities, right? Smart city. But as a faculty and as a student, it is our responsibility to contribute more towards a smart city or any project, starting with the term smart. Correct? So nowadays we are hearing more about smart health, smart parking, smart city. All things are coming with smart. Right? But as students, we have more opportunities in IoT. As a faculty, we have more opportunities towards WSN. Still, WSN, it is alive, right? So before 2015 or 2013, WSN was booming like anything, and my research area was wireless sensor networks. Now I am moving towards IoT, right? But friends, if you see the title, I can strongly say that WSN, it is a subset of going to utilize sensors, how you are going to handle the data collected using sensors. Both in IoT and WSN, we are going to sense the data, right? We are going to send to some central coordinator or sync node, we can say. In WSN, we call it as sync, S-I-N-K, sync node. So we put sensor nodes here and there in WSN, and we are collecting the data from all the sensors, right? And of course, we have communication module in wireless sensor nodes, so that the data sensed by the sensors node, will be communicated to the sync node. So now I share my PPT. So communication module, it may be Wi-Fi, or it's Zigbee, or it's a proprietary communication protocol like ANT, right? So IoT, Internet of Things, it's has its own applications. Plenty of applications are there, right? So before starting my presentation, I just run a small video. So I request all the participants to note down what are all the applications involved. So you can find hundreds and hundreds of applications in this small video. And I request the students or the faculty to take up any one project, any one IoT project, and you can contribute towards that project. It's possible. So I share this video now.
Segar, my voice is
Yes, it is audible.
audible. Okay. I switched to my laptop now.
Okay.
So I run my video. So just to check whether the audio is good, right? Segar, my screen is visible now.
Yes, visible.
Okay. Audio okay? Segar, audio okay now?
Your voice only I able to hear, not that video audio in the video.
Audio okay.
Still audio is not coming, sir.
Audio not coming?
Yes, sir. But still audio is a problem, I think, sir. Audio is not coming actually.
All right. Some problem with my
Yes, sir. Yes.
audio.
Audio problem,
So,
sir.
yeah. My voice is audible now, sir.
Very clear. It's very clear, sir. We can go for the
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, participants, sorry for the inconvenience, but anyway, in the video you might have seen so many, smart projects. So if you combine all these smart projects, it means we are getting smart city, right? So in the video you might have seen remote monitoring, smart accident monitoring, smart parking, right? Smart dustbin, right? And smart streets, smart lighting, right? So everything is smart. So why I showed this video is the students, it can think of, planning to do small IoT kind of designing or real-time system. So real-time system, as you all know, system with the deadline, right? So, but here mostly we are concentrating more towards soft real-time systems, because if you don't meet the deadline, nothing will happen. Right? So anyway, the small problem we'll face, but we can rectify it. Not hard real-time system, right? So real-time systems are divided into two, hard and soft, right? But in case of IoT kind of small smart applications, we talk about only the soft. Okay. So my focus is, I just give you the state of art of IoT. What are all the technologies involved? Because 1 hour it's not, it's a different course. WSN is a course, 1 semester or 1 year course, or IoT is a 1 year course. But then the objective of this webinar, it is to expose the participants into the technologies, right? So what best they can take up from this presentation. That's main objective of this presentation, right? And if possible, I will touch upon the RFID and beacon technology, because sensors, RFID, beacon. So these 3 things are going to play a vital role in IoT, right? And sensors, of course, in WSN. So in WSN, we'll talk about only sensors. In IoT, we'll use both sensors and RFID beacon, right? And the challenge and future of IoT we'll see, right? So this is the octopus view of IoT. This is the octopus view of IoT. So if you see this diagram, Internet of Things, so in how many ways we can work with the Internet of Things that you can get. So don't worry about the letters given or the sentences given, issue or benefits or application. Don't worry, right? So, but if you take one branch of this octopus or this tree, right, you can get many things, right? So normally when we are starting our project, so we'll start with the Internet of Things, right? Then we'll slowly narrow down to something. So suppose, as I told you, if students wants to do project in IoT, so how they can proceed is, they can start here, Internet of Things, and they can take this application. This is the students area, I can say. I'm not underestimating the students. You can, if you want, you can do the research also. But as a BSc student or as a MSc student, you can think of developing small applications, right? And when they take applications, what application they can take? Whether tracking application, yes, or monitoring application. So this is how we are going to narrow down our idea, right? So in the first project review, what students will say is, I'm doing Internet of Things project, right? And after 10 days, they will say, I'm going to develop this kind of application. And after 15 days, they will tell, I'm doing the monitoring. And after 20 days, they will tell, so what kind of monitoring project they are going to do, right? So this is the last leaf of this tree. So this is how we are going to travel when students are as far as students are concerned. And same way, they can think of the theft prevention application in IoT. It's also possible, right? And what are all the various issues in IoT? Definitely legal issue are there, security issue, right? As a faculty, you can think of developing the security kind of things for IoT. So mostly faculty members, you might have handled the cryptography, right? The subject cryptography. There we talk about encryption, decryption, authentication, so many things. But as far as IoT is concerned, the cryptography we have to modify slightly. So because in IoT security, we call it is lightweight cryptography. Please make a note of this word, lightweight cryptography. Why lightweight? Why not heavyweight? So because in IoT kind of applications, so we have a microcontroller based system, or Raspberry or Android, Raspberry Pi is there, right? Arduino microcontroller is there, right? In any microcontroller, we have less memory. The memory is limited. So if you take the general purpose systems, the memory will be, it is 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte. And you can develop your own cryptographic algorithm or encryption decryption algorithm, and you can accommodate any big size of algorithm in the general purpose system. But coming to IoT, whether it is Arduino or Raspberry Pi, the memory is limited. It will be in the a megabyte or 1 gigabyte, something like that. Memory is very limited, and in the limited memory we have to accommodate our code. And if we write very big algorithm for providing security for IoT application, you will not be able to run the algorithm, because memory is also limited. The power, the execution power, we can say. So because if you take i3 or i7 in general purpose system, the speed of the processor will be huge. So here the resources are limited in case of IoT. Resources in terms of processor or microcontroller, we can say memory, right? So considering these two limitations, if faculty member wants to work on security side for IoT, right, or if you are developing any cryptographic algorithm for your real-time applications in IoT, you have to think of the lightweight cryptography. You have to write very small code to provide the security. So in literature, we have the term called lightweight cryptography. If you are really interested, you can Google it and you can think of providing security for your IoT applications. Correct? So even though we are talking about this octopus view, and we are discussing what is it, application, numbers, issue, and benefits, dangers, and in each and every branches we have small ideas, cities, health, right? You just go through it carefully, all the branches. You can say get some idea where you can work, right? Even though we are telling you are working with the Internet of Things, but whether you are working with application, or you are working with the issues, or you are working with benefits, or you are working with dangers, or you are working with numbers, correct? So these are all the various areas where the students and staff can work. That is why I'm sharing this octopus view of Internet of Things, right? And the exact definition. The Internet of Things, it depends on the Wikipedia or some conference or some authors. So the difference may be the definition may be different, but the idea here is to define the Internet of Things. So if you see the Internet of Things, it is also called as Internet of Objects. Actually, if you take Internet, it is Internet of People. So because Internet, it is connecting all the people all over the world. But Internet of Things, it is connecting things. So what is think? I'll tell you in the next slide. So please make a note of this word think. Internet, it is Internet of People. But Internet of Things, it is connection of or Internet of Things. What is thing? I'll tell you, right? So please note, Internet of Object refers to a wireless network between objects. Usually the network will be wireless and self-configuring, such as household appliances. So this is very important term, self-configuring. Self-configuring. So that is why we are going for IoT. If you are able to do manually, why IoT? Right? Not at all required. But how we are going to self-configure all the devices? How we are going to configure, self-configure all the devices? Automatic. Everything is automatic. You need not worry about anything in your house. You are free, totally free. So just by having some kind of devices on your hand, you can easily operate all the household appliances available in your house. So I'm not going to explain this definition. And first one is enough for this webinar. Internet of objects refers to a wireless network between objects. Usually the network will be wireless. So of course it is wireless. We are going to work with the Wi-Fi or WiMAX or Zigbee. It depends on the distance. And second thing is self-configuring. These two are very important words as far as this definition is concerned. Yes. Coming to things, as I told you, Internet of Things, we are going to connect things. Mostly 5 things we are having. Please note, in human being, we have sight, we have hearing, taste, touch, and smell. 5 important things. And in IoT, how we are going to implement these 5 senses? How we are going to see someone is coming? Suppose manually what we are doing, if you are in our house and somebody else is coming, so immediately you are inviting or you are welcoming your guest. Vanga vanga, eppa vandinga. So paatha odane we are welcoming. That's called sight. The same way in IoT, how we are going to identify a person. So of course you have camera. So the sight sense can be replaced by the camera. And similarly hearing. So hearing again. So recognizing the speech. How exactly the Google Talk, right? Google Talk works. So if you are telling Google, give the details about wireless sensor networks, immediately it will give you the details about the wireless sensor networks. So how we are going to implement the hearing or the sense, right? And tasting, correct? Similarly, touching and smell. Of course, these 3 are can be implemented using sensors. Touch sensors can be used, right? If you touch something, immediately it will sense something, or it will get the data, and immediately it can be analyzed. So these are all the 5 sensors we are going to have in IoT in terms of sensors, cameras, and microphones. Okay. And this is the IoT timeline or evolution of IoT, I can say, right? So satellites, we talked about satellites in 1990s, right? And mobile phone, cell towers in 2000s, right? In the late 2000. And in 2010, we talked about wireless access points and Wi-Fi, right? And all the devices are connected using wireless access points, right? So here, what I am telling is the communication areas, communication evaluation, satellite, then cell towers, then wireless access point. Now, of course, we have Wi-Fi and Zigbee and other communication modules, right? Or communication protocols, I can say. So this is the wireless communication protocol, right? Just make a note. So you can work with Bluetooth. It depends on the application which you are developing. It need not be Zigbee always, right? So it purely depends on the distance. Okay. So if you take Bluetooth, right? It's 1 megabits per second, and Zigbee 200 kilobits per second, and it works with 2.4 gigahertz. So here what I'm trying to tell is the data transfer rate and the distance, it differs. Data transfer means, so as I told you, Bluetooth, you can work with 1 megabits per second, right? And Zigbee means it's slightly less, 250 kilobits per second. but the frequency is license free. License free means it's 2.4 gigahertz. And similarly, if you take the AND protocol, and it is a proprietary protocol developed by ANT networks. It's a proprietary protocol, right? And if you see the data rate, it is 60 kilobits per second, and the distance is 30 meters only. And of course, we have Z wave also. Z wave 100 kilobits per second, and Z wave it covers only 10 to 100 meters. And Bluetooth, 1 to 100 meters you can cover, and Zigbee it is slightly higher, and Wi-Fi. So here I don't put the Wi-Fi. If you want, you can add Wi-Fi also, 54 Mbps, right? Normally, nowadays people are working with Wi-Fi and Zigbee also, right? So kind of forest fire application kind of things. People are using Zigbee or Z-Wave, right? So Zigbee and Z-Wave, so both are similar, but only thing is the data rate and the distance covered. Okay. So these are all the communication medium, because in IoT, if you see, we mostly work with main thing is micro controller, you can say, MUSI, right? And communication medium, right? So these two things are very important. So whether you are going to use Raspberry Pi or Arduino or any other microcontroller for your application, and in case of communication medium, right? And of course, Arduino or Raspberry Pi, it contains some sensors, inbuilt sensors. Using that sensors, you can sense the data and you can communicate. But for communication, whether I am going to use Zigbee or Wi-Fi, correct? Or sometimes the school students, they use IR module, right? Infrared. Okay. And the difference is infrared line of sight is required, right? In case of Wi-Fi, it's not required, right? So anytime, any place, anywhere. So that is the objective of the Internet of Things. Anything, anytime, any place. Anything means, right? Between two human, you can establish the communication, or human to think. Think, I told already what is think, right? And think to think, T to T we can say, right? So it may be T to T communication, or H to T communication, or H to H communication, right? So if you are able to communicate, establish communication between thing to thing, or thing to human, or human to human, right? That is called anything. And any place, anytime, on the move, outdoor or indoor, night or daytime, right? So nowadays we are having night vision cameras, right? If you want to work with nighttime images, we have night vision cameras and BTZ cameras also there, right? So moving objects can be easily tracked by the BTZ camera, right? And we have both night vision cameras and daytime cameras. So suppose if you want to establish or implement IoT application, during nighttime, or nighttime, people movement, if you want to detect, you have to work with night vision cameras, BTZ cameras, right? Moving means BTZ, it's opt, right? And similarly, on the move, right, away from the PC, at the PC, any place, right? So here, anytime, any place, anything. If you are able to implement these three in your project, it is IoT, that's all. So think whether you are going to consider human or thing, outdoor or indoor, right? Away from PC or at the PC, that's all. These three you have to consider when you are developing any real-time system. And this is the IoT perspective, correct? right? And these statistics, just make a note. It's not that much important for this webinar anyway. So nowadays we are going with cloud-based software, right? AWS, we are AWS platform is there, right? It's a cloud platform, right? You can get your software or infrastructure, whatever may be, for your IoT application. Just pay and use. And similarly, microcontroller, right? So you can get from the AWS. Similarly, sensors can interface with your application, and wireless connectivity also you can get it pay per use, right? Pricing, right? And just in 2020, how many humans are connected and how many devices are connected, right? So it's, if you see the device, the number of device connected, it is more than the humans, because, right, the survey says that connected device per person is 6.58. Even if you see our students, right, they are using 2 or 3 mobile phones, right? They are using a laptop and any electronic gadgets. So in 2020, the survey says that one person uses 6.58 devices. See, so in that case, 15 billion devices will be there, or there. 50 billion devices are there. We are going to connect all these 15 billion, with the internet, right? And think of, the complexity, right? You just go through why Internet of Things, right? Why we are going for Internet of Things, right? So just read it. Dynamic control of industry and daily life. Improve the resource utilization ratio. Yes, of course. Better relationship between human and nature. When we are talking about pollution and disaster avoidance, right? So we are having real-time systems for pollution and disaster avoidance. Universal transport and internet working, accessibility and usability acts as the technology's integrator. And the building blocks of IoT. This is very important. What are all the important building blocks we are having in our IoT application? Of course, radio. Radio means chips that provide connectivity based on various radio protocols. It's in physical layer, I can say. So these two are in physical layer, right? In networks ISO OSA model, you might have heard about the word physical layer, and these radios it's in physical layer. And microcontroller, yes, and modules, it combines a radio, sensor, microcontrollers in a single package. And what is the software you are going to use? IDE, software that activates, monitors, analyze, and the device network. And application software, device, airtime. So mostly people are using 2.4 gigahertz. It's a ISM band. ISM band is licensed free, unlicensed you can say. Unlicensed spectrum you can make use for your application, the students and the faculty. 2.4 gigahertz you can make use it without getting license, right? So any IoT applications, definitely it should have all these 4 layers. So how we are going to sense the data, right? How we are going to communicate, right? Sensing, it's information generation. It's a first layer. Communicating through something, it is network. And how we are going to store the data, it is management. How we are going to analyze the data gathered, it is application, right? So 4 layers are there. So my suggestion for the students, if you are really interested in developing real-time system in IoT, so 4 students can combine and one can work in information generation. They can select the sensor and they can get the data. And one student can work with the network construction layer, right? So he or she can, think of communicating the sensed data, right? And one student, he or she can work with management layer, right? She or he can think of processing the information gathered, information generation, sensing, information transmission, network, information processing, management, and how we are going to present to the world its application, presentable form. So 4 students can combine in one project and strictly, they can work with the layers. One layer, one student, that's all. So then only you'll get some idea about the project which you are doing. And I expand the 4-layer model. So in the sense and identification layer, you have to work with the smart devices, RFID, sensors. All the devices are coming in sensing and identification module. And the network construction module contains, it may be internet or wireless LAN, right? Or wireless MAN, anything, or Zigbee, anything, right? So this is communication, right? So the data from the real world or the field, it can be sensed using these devices, and it can be communicated to some place using this communication or this network. And for information processing, we talk about data mining, right? Or data center storage and processing, right? And integrated application, it's green building or smart transport and environmental monitoring or smart logistics. And forget about this application. So the student can develop their own application level software, right, to present the sensed data, right? So the data comes from the bottom layer and communicated using network and processing using the information security or data mining ideas, and it is presented to the real world using the application, right? So first layer, second layer, third layer, and finally application, correct? So just stick on to these layers. So if you ask the students in project review, what is your part? So immediately he will say, we 4 company did this project. Don't say this. So I work with the sensing and identification, and the next students can very clearly say that I work with the network, and I work with information processing, and I work with application. Okay. And some interesting 1 or 2 applications I show for IoT. Then I will move on to WSN, and I'm going to combine, or I am going to compare wireless sensor networks and IoT, so that the faculty members, they come to know the difference between the IoT and WSN, and what are all the research focus as far as real-time system design is concerned. Okay. So this is exactly the real-time system as far as IoT is concerned. Here, shopping is given, correct? So first point is, when entering the doors, scanners will identify the tags on her clothes. Yes, this is to identify a person. So a tag is fixed on a human being when he or she enters into the mall. Okay. And when she is going through the supermarket, the goods will introduce themselves. See here, if you see, your mobile phone, so immediately you will get to know what is available in your left and what is available in your right. It's called pop-up messages. So when you are walking through the supermarket, or when you are walking between in between two racks, and if you see your mobile, so immediately it will tell these products are this side. In this rack, these are all the products available. In this rack, these are all the products available. Right? It's possible using beacon technology. Right? So we developed one consultancy project for US. The same thing. Right? Using beacon technology. Right? And third, when moving the goods, the reader will tell the staff to put a new one. Suppose I am taking one, Surf Excel from the rack. Immediately, the information will go to the employees, and they will come and replace the Surf Excel. Right. So just take the Surf Excel, and immediately the information will go there, and the employees will come and refill it. And similarly, when you are paying for the goods, the microchip of the credit card will communicate with the checkout reader. You need not pay anything. You just go out. So from your credit card, it will be automatically deducted. So how much you purchased, how much you have to pay, everything is automated. And just when you go out, the reader, checkout reader will communicate with the checkout reader. The credit card will communicate with the checkout reader, and the amount will be deducted from your credit card. Normally nowadays, credit card will be registered with all the malls, and after purchase, automatically the amount will be deducted from your credit card. But registering credit card with the authentication, all those things are there in the first step. So forget about that. Assume that your credit card is registered with the mall, right? And you just go, take the product, go out. That's all. Automatically amount will be deducted. So healthcare, I don't want to. So this is one interesting application, right? So people are looking forward, and so still in India, there is no such automated shopping, right? But project kind of things can be developed, right? So using RFID or barcode readers or beacon technology, right? So sensors, right? So if we combine all these things, you can develop a smart mall, we can say. The project title may be smart mall. You can demonstrate so how automatically the customers can come and take their product, right? And they are to automatically pay their bills. And when they are walking around the supermarket, the goods or the products will introduce themselves. I'm here. So if you see, this message, see here, when she is walking through, the mall or the supermarket, I am detergent, right? I arrived yesterday on a truck from factory. All this information will come to your mobile phone, right? And you can easily find out. Suppose if it is a very big mall, and if you want to locate one particular product. So for example, Boost. If you want to purchase one Boost packet, and it is 1 kilometer distance thing, or it's a big mall, we can say. And in which rack the Boost packet is available, we don't know, right? So what you can do is just, so nowadays if you are entering into the mall, so they are giving an app, right? Mobile app. And in the mobile app, all the products will be displayed. And if you click on the Boost, so immediately it will tell you the location. So this kind of project only we did for a US based company, right? If you click on the product Boost, immediately it will guide you, right? So it will detect the current location of the customer, right? Suppose if I am standing here and I want to go straight, take left, take right, take left to get the boost packet. So this indoor map can be generated to get the particular product in big malls. So still there are so many research openings are there. If you are really interested, you can contact me, I can guide you, right? So similarly, students, if you are really interested, you can apply the same concept to locate a particular book in the library. Nowadays, how students are taking and keeping the books in the library, right? So just they will throw it away and they will leave. In which rack, which book is available, we don't know. But identifying the current location of the student in the library, if it is a big library, we have to identify the current location of the student. And if I am searching for a book, Internet of Things book, and if it is available in the second rack of in the third floor, in second rack, the Internet of Books, the Internet of Things book is available. So immediately when I click, I want to take this Internet of Things book. If you click that title, so immediately it will generate a indoor map and it will guide you how to go to third floor, right? And where the second rack, everything will be generated in the mobile app. That's possible. So only thing is you need RFID readers and the beacon. So because GPS, it will not work inside the buildings mostly. GPS will not work, right? So in that case, to generate maps inside the building, we have the technology called beacon technology. I'll show you what is beacon last, right? So this is an interesting application that can be developed using only 3 modules, only 3 technologies. Sensor, if it is required, you can make use of it. RFID is main, RFID reader, RFID tags, and beacon technology to generate the indoor map. Okay, interesting applications can be generated. And the beacon, the price is also, I think 3 beacons, you can get it, for 10,000 rupees, I guess. For 10,000 rupees, you can get 3 beacons. It's a small ball kind of product. You can fix it on the walls, and it operates using the Bluetooth, right? Beacon devices, it operates using Bluetooth. What you can do is you can fix the Bluetooth enabled beacons on the walls, and you can connect with your mobile. So you can connect with your mobile using Bluetooth, so that when you are walking through library or mall, the mobile Bluetooth will talk to Bluetooth of the beacon, right? And it can easily locate where you are standing, right? So that is the idea behind the beacon technology. Okay, if you are really interested, you can Google about beacon technologies and you can work, right? And these are the state of art of IoT enabling technologies: RFID, sensors, smart technologies, and nanotechnologies. Okay, and you just think of these 3, because we can work with these 3 things. And nanotechnology, it is a technology which is concentrating to make the the devices smaller. That's not our part. It's industry part. As academician and as a student, right, you can work with RFID, sensor, and smart technology. Okay. And this is the sensor nodes used in wireless sensor networks, right? In IoT, the major components, it's a microcontroller, means Raspberry or Arduino, and communication module. Okay, and then the application development. But in case of wireless sensor networks, even in automotive applications, there are so many sensors, right? It's a central control unit of the cars. Okay, So all these things, all the parameters are sensed using sensors. Tire pressure can be sensed using pressure sensors, and brakes pressure can be sensed using sensor. Speed sensors can be used to measure the speed, and suspension, ABS system, right? Balloon, automatic system, emission system. All these things are implemented using the sensors, and all the sensors are connected with the CCU, central control unit of the car. Okay. So based on the value received from these sensors, automatically the CCU will give the instruction, or will do something, some acceleration, or it will reduce something, or it will increase something it will do, right? So that is the function of the CCU. So here what I am trying to tell is the sensors are used in the automotive applications also, right? And wireless sensor network used in underwater, underwater applications are possible using wireless sensor network. This is the exact architecture of wireless sensor networks, right? So friends, please understand this wireless sensor network. It emerged, during 2007-6, right? And once we talk about the smart and IoTs, right? It slowly, get vanished, this concept, wireless sensor, but it is still there. Wireless sensor network, wireless sensors or wireless sensor network, it is a subset of IoT. Still, people are doing the projects using wireless sensor networks, right? This is the exact difference between wireless sensor networks and IoT. So what we do is, we concern not only about the water, tree and soldier, but also about ocean, forest and battlefield. So in wireless sensor network, we concern only about water, tree and the soldier. In case of battlefield, we see the status of soldier, or in case of sea, we concern about the water level or something. But the complete details can be obtained using IoT. That is the thing. So I show you the next slide. So we have ocean monitoring, forest management, battlefield control. So here the thing is, think of wireless sensor networks. The sensor network, what it will do is, it will sense the data from the battlefield or from the sea, right? Or from the forest, and it will be transferred or transmitted to the central controller. This is how we work with WSN. But in case of IoT, what we are doing is, so after collecting the data, right, we are processing the data collected, and we get the complete picture of the battlefield or forest or ocean. That we will be able to do in IoT. That is the exact difference between IoT and WSN. Okay, WSN, we put wireless sensor nodes here and there, and using communication module, we are collecting the data and we store it. That's all. And where IoT comes, after collecting the data, we are processing using smart application, smart intelligence, or artificial intelligence, or data science, whatever may be, right? So from there, all the technology emerge. You are collecting a huge number of data. How you are going to process? What is the concept you are using? Data mining or data science or smart intelligence or artificial intelligence or machine learning? All these new technologies comes from here only. In wireless sensor network, we collected only data. In IoT, we started processing the data. And how we are going to process? What are the various technology above IoT, machine learning, data science, etc., etc. This is how the technology emerges. Okay. When WSN is used to connect the digital world, see here, I'm showing only wireless sensor networks. Forget about IoT, right? How wireless sensor nodes are deployed here. I am deploying all the sensors nodes here and there to monitor, the battlefield or the nature or ocean, something. And all the data, I am sending the request to all the devices, and I am collecting all the sensed data, and the sensed data is stored in the system. Okay, that's all about wireless sensor network. And hereafter, if you start processing using some kind of intelligence, there comes the new technologies. Okay, so please note, we started with wireless sensor network. Now we are in IoT, and the other technologies started coming to process the data sensed or received using IoT applications. So that is called intelligence. Okay. So this table exactly tells you the difference between sensor network and IoT. So this point is very, very important. Sensors are part of IoT. Yes, of course. IoT is a combination of sensors, networks, and people. Data is collected using sensors in sensor network, wireless sensor network. Data is collected, later it is processed, and decisions are taken. This is IoT. How decisions are taken? What is the technology behind this? ML, right? DL, what is DL? Deep learning, data science. All these technologies are emerging because of the decision to be taken from the data collected using IoT. Okay. Especially sensors are used to monitor space, objects, and human beings. Here, daily life object. Here, the applications are limited. Please note, both IoT and sensor network applications are application specific. You cannot deploy one wireless sensor network applications to all the applications. It's not like that. Suppose if you want to work with forest fire identification, you have to develop your own application. Suppose if you want to work with ocean detection or ocean monitoring, you have to develop your own algorithm, your own sensors. The sensors are different, the applications are different, everything. So the sensor network applications, it's not general purpose. It is application specific. Okay. Similarly, IoT also. Smart house. If you are developing one application for smart house, it cannot be implemented for smart, health monitoring. Smart health monitoring, it is separate. The sensors used in smart health monitoring cannot be used for smart house or smart city, right? So application specific IoT applications are developed, and the next research point where comes integrating all the smart applications, correct? Then only you will get the smart city. I am developing on smart house application. I am developing on smart parking application. I am developing on smart health application. If I combine, if I integrate all these applications, you are getting smart city. And similarly, smart touchscreen, smart, everything is smart. So develop smart application, integrate it, and get the smart city. That's all. So this RFID, I just leave this PPT to Dr. Shekhar. I request him to share to the participants. So see here, this is the beacon based application. So in your mobile, you can see the entire, the blueprint of this mall. This blueprint of this mall is embedded here, or see using your mobile phone. And wherever if you want to go, suppose if I want to buy a shirt, so just by clicking, you can, this application will direct you or will guide you how to reach the, the shirt or the shop to get the shirt. Similarly for any, product. So the entire mall blueprint is available here, and using beacon technology, the customer current location can be easily tracked, and from there, if you want to go to food court, just click food court. From the current point or current location, the indoor map will be generated to guide you to go to food court in this mall. So this is the beautiful application that can be developed using Beacon. I request all the students and faculty to focus more on Beacon based application and RFID also. RFID, use of RFID, it is very simple, and use of Beacon is also very simple. Only thing is you should have the interest, that's all, passion to work with all these kind of projects. So the challenges, just read it, right? Nothing is there. It's all theory, right? So with IoT, you do not need to go online because your environment is already there serving you. So if you do not need to be online, then IoT will eliminate the internet online, right? So IoT is everything hereafter. So this is for the students. Road is difficult, but future is bright. Now, because of this pandemic, the road is very difficult. But my humble request to all the students, kindly put sincere efforts to learn, right? Of course, faculty members are there to guide you, but it is the fullest responsibility of the students to learn, right? So put efforts, learn more, and I wish you very all the best, all the students. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. Thank you. If you have any doubts or clarification, I am happy to answer.
Student can raise your queries.
So it's really a nice presentation, sir. You have connected exactly IoT with WSN.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you, thank
you. Yeah, you can straight away unmute and you can raise a question, sir. Somebody is raising their hands.
Yeah. Students, if you have any doubts or if you want to do any project, you can get my mail ID from Dr. Shekhar, and you can mail. I'm always happy to interact with the students and guide the students always. I can give you the important links for Beacon or RFID, right? So if you are really interested, faculty also, if you want to do project or research works in IoT or WSN, I'm always happy to help you. Right? So, thank you.
Sir, yeah, somebody's raising a question, sir, in the chat box.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Using Beacon, right? What kind of application? As I told you, so suppose Beacon, it is used for indoor applications only. So wherever the GPS is not working, Beacon will support you. That's all. So suppose if you want to, locate a car, in a four-way, so we are using GPS. But if you want to locate a person inside a building, right? The GPS will not support. Mostly inside the building, GPS will not work. In that case, what you can do is you can make use of Bluetooth technology, because BLE, that is, Beacon, it works with the Bluetooth technology, and your mobile phone also has Bluetooth. So easily these two can talk. The Bluetooth technology available with Beacon, the device Beacon, and the Bluetooth available with the mobile phone, these two can easily talk, and they can, you can easily locate a person standing inside the building. So any indoor applications, outdoor applications can be generated using GPS, and indoor kind of application can be developed using Beacon. That's all. Thank you, Kalechali madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What are the research direction of RFID? So honestly telling, Mr. Ramesh, there is no research part in RFID. Applications can be developed using RFID. So as I told you, suppose if you want to find out a book in the library, big library, what you can do is we can fix RFID tags in all the books. Okay, in all the books, RFID tags can be attached, and you can fix one RFID reader. Okay, RFID reader. This RFID reader can read all the information using the tags, right? And this RFID reader can be connected with the central server. And in the central server, you can find out in which rack which book is available. Is it okay? So all the books, we have RFID tags, and RFID reader will read the book details and it will be updated in the central server. And in the central server, you can find out which book is available in which location. And the same way, where you are standing, that can be located using the beacon technology. So from the information stored in the server and from the current location of the customer, you can generate a map to direct the customer or the student or staff to go and get the particular book in the rack. That's all. So RFID, there is no much research focus, but small applications can be developed. Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. Any questions?
Students, any queries are there? Okay, I think no queries available.
Yes.
So I request our MPhil scholar Pavitra to deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay, sir. It's a privilege and a great joy for me to extend a vote of thanks to all who have contributed to the success of this webinar. I'm very much thankful to our principal madam for her enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. I may like to express our sincere thanks to resource person of this webinar, Professor Dr. R. Alagasan sir, for giving an excellent coverage about WSN and IoT approaches for real-time system design. I am sure, sir, that all participants now having a clear idea about how to develop real-time applications using a wireless sensors and IoT. I extend my thanks to all the committed heads of the departments, teaching and non-teaching staff of our college. My word of thanks goes next to all the participants from various institutions who make this webinar a grand success. Once again, I thank you for all making this webinar as a remarkable event in the history of computer science department. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavitra. Feedback link is posted in the chat box. Participants are requested to fill the feedback form. Still, you have any problem in receiving the certificate, you can mail your details to me, sckpsm@gmail.com. Certificate will be automatically generated.
Thank you, Alageshwaran sir.
Thank you, Murugan sir. Thank you for your kind support. Thank you, Dr. Shekhar.
Thank you, Alagasan sir, for sparing your time with us.
Thank you. Thank you all.
தேங்க்யூ சார். சேகர் சார் ஒரு 2-3 ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் எடுத்து வச்சுங்கிறது
வச்சுட்டேன் சார், வச்சுட்டேன்.
தேங்க்யூ சார். நம்ம ஒரு ரிப்போர்ட் ஒன்று ரெடி பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
வச்சுட்டேன் சார்.
ஓகே. ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ் வேணா வெயிட் பண்ணி பாருங்க, நான் அவங்க ஃபில் பண்ணிரட்டு.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே.
Shall I take leave, Dr. Shekhar? Murugan sir?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Suresh, thank you, Alagasan sir. Thank you. சேகர் சார், நானும் குவிட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன்.
பண்ணிடுங்க சார்.
ஒரு 11:30க்கு எனக்கு இன்னொரு மீட்டிங் ஒன்று இருக்குது.
ஓகே.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஓகே சார்.
பை சார். பை ஆல்.
ஓகே சார், பை சார்.